My dear students of class 9 English medium Rajakuttara Model College, today I am delivering second video lecture on chapter 4 of chemistry, that is the chapter periodic table. Hope you have studied the first lecture from your book and followed the video lecture well. In the previous class we have discussed up to the limitation of Mendeleev's periodic table. Today we shall study the modern periodic table details. What are the points we shall discuss today? Number one, what is modern periodic law? Then we shall study the structure of modern periodic table. Then we shall study classification of elements in respect of electronic configuration. Number 4, transition element. And finally we shall study lanthanides and actinides. At first, what is modern periodic law and modern periodic table? You can remember, of course, that Mendeleev arranged the elements in the periodic table in the increasing order of their atomic mass. But in 1913, scientists mostly proved that the properties of elements depend on the atomic number, not on the atomic mass. He gave a statement correcting the statement given by Mendeleev, and the statement is like this: the properties of elements and their compounds change periodically with the increasing order of their atomic number. This statement is called modern periodic law. Mostly proposed to arrange the elements in the periodic table in the increasing order of their atomic number. The periodic table arranging the elements in the increasing order of their atomic number is called modern periodic table. Today we shall discuss the structure of modern periodic table in details. This is the modern periodic table. I have taken the picture from your textbook. You can take help of the textbook since the figure is not that much clear. So let us discuss the structure of modern periodic table. You see there are some rows and some columns in this periodic table. All the 118 elements are arranged in this periodic table. There are 7 rows and 18 columns in this periodic table. 7 rows, you see, this is the first row, this is the second row, third row, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So there are 7 rows in this periodic table, and there are 18 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on, it is up to 18. So there are 7 rows and 18 columns in this periodic table. The rows are known as periods and the columns are known as groups. That is, this is the first period, this is the second period, this is the third period, this is the fourth period and so on. This is group 1, 2, group 3, 4 and so on. It is up to group 18. Number 2, every period starts from group 1 and it ends at group 18. Look at this, every period is starting from group 1 and it is ending at group 18. Point number 3, the lanthanide series and actinide series shown below the main part of the periodic table separately are the part of the 6th and 7th period. These elements are practically the part of this period, that is the 6th period, and these elements are the part of the 7th period, that is this period. Look at this element. The atomic number of this element is 55 and it is cesium. The next element, barium, it has atomic number 57, but the element with 58 is placed at this position. It is 58, 59 and so on. It continues up to atomic number 71. Then next element with atomic number 72 is placed at this position. That is, all the 15 elements are placed at this position in the periodic table. So these elements are the part of the sixth period. Similarly, these elements, there are 15 elements here also. The atomic number of this element is 87, then 88, but the element with atomic number 89 is not placed here, it is placed in this position, and it continues up to 103. These 15 elements are placed at this position. Then the next element 104, atomic number 104 is placed here. So this row is practically the part of this row, that is the part of 7th period. The elements of these periods are known as lanthanides, and the elements of this period is known as actinides. So we can say that the lanthanides are the part of the 6th period and actinides are the part of the 7th period. Point number 4, the first period contains 2 elements only. This is hydrogen and helium. The second and third period contains 8 elements is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fourth and fifth period contains 18 elements is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. It is up to 18. Same for the fifth period also. The sixth and seventh period contains a total of 32 elements is. Sixth period contains 32 elements and seventh period also contains 32 elements. It is mentionable that this number also include these elements, that is lanthanide series and actinide series. Now the number of elements in each group is described here in point number 5. Group 1 contains 7 elements, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elements. Group 2 contains 6 elements. Group 3 contains 32 elements. Group 4 to 12, that is from 4 to 12, contains 4 elements is 4 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So from group 4 to group 12 is group contains 4 elements is. Group 13 to 17, group 13 to 17 is group contains 6 elements is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Group 18 contains 7 elements: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, etc. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elements. This is the structure of modern periodic table in brief. We shall now discuss the structure details in respect of electronic configuration. Our next point is the discussion of classification of elements in respect of electronic configuration. Practically, modern periodic table has been divided into 4 blocks depending on the electronic configuration. I think you have got idea about electronic configuration from chapter 3 already. There are 4 blocks known as S block, P block, D block and F block. Let us study these blocks separately. At first, the S block elements. If the last electron of an element enters into S orbital, then the element lies in the first group or second group. That is, first 2 group of the periodic table belongs to S block elements. For all these elements, the last electron enters into S orbital. Let us take an example. Calcium with atomic number 20. This is the electronic configuration. The last electron entering into S orbital. So it is the element of S block area. Here there is calcium, and these 2 columns belongs to S block area. Another example, Another example, cesium 55. The electronic configuration shows that the last electron is entering into 6s orbital, so it is also an s block element. Here this is cesium, so it lies in s block. So there are two columns in s block area. The first column is group 1 and the second column is group 2. Then next block is p block. P block elements, the elements in which the last electron enters into p orbital, are known as p block elements. There are 6 columns for p block elements. Let us take the example of sulfur. The electronic configuration shows that the last electron enters into 3p, so it's a p block element. Let us find this element in this area. It is sulfur. Similarly, iodine, it is showing that the last electron entering into 5p orbital, so it is also a p block element. It is iodine. There is iodine. There are 6 groups from group 13 to 18 for p block area. Our next block is d block elements. The elements for which the last electron enters into d orbital are known as d block elements. There are 10 columns for d block elements. It starts from group 3 and it ends to group 12. That is, from group 3 to group 12, the elements are known as d block elements. We have taken the example of nickel. The electronic configuration of nickel shows that the last electron goes to 3d orbital. According to our Bohr principle, the last electron goes to 3d. Practically, the electronic configuration is practically like this: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. Then the electron goes to 4s, and then the electron goes to 3d according to our Bohr principle. I hope that you have studied this principle in chapter 3 already. Since the last electron is going to d orbital, the element is a d block element. Let us find this element in this area. This is nickel. It is a d block element. Now, a special topic on d block elements we have to discuss now. It is related with this block. The special topic is transition elements. Which are transition elements? Transition elements are those d block elements which have incomplete d orbital. That is, incomplete d orbital means the d orbital will contain 1 to 9 electrons. Since the maximum capacity of d orbital is 10 electron, so if it contains 1 to 9 electron, then you can tell that the d orbital is incomplete. So the d block elements having incomplete d orbital in their stable ionic state are called transition elements. Let us elaborate with some examples. Scandium with atomic number 21, it is the electronic configuration. The last electron is entering into 3d orbital, so it's a d block element, no doubt. But the stable ionic electronic configuration, that is the electronic configuration of stable ionic state of scandium 3+, is like this. It is not containing any electron in d orbital, so it's a d block element, of course, but not a transition element. Let us think about copper. The electronic configuration is given here. The last electron enters into d orbital, so it's a d block, of course, d block element. But the stable ionic configuration of copper is copper 2+. This is the stable ion of copper. It is showing 9 electron in d orbital. Since it is showing 9 electron in d orbital, so the d orbital is incomplete in the ionic state. Since the d orbital is incomplete in the ionic state, copper is a transition element as well as a d block element. What about zinc? The electronic configuration of zinc shows that it is a d block element because it is containing 10 electrons in d orbital, and the last electron enters into d orbital. The stable electronic configuration, that is the stable ionic state of zinc, is Zn2 plus. This is containing 10 electrons. That is the d orbital is full filled. It is completely filled with electron. So according to definition, zinc is a d block element, but it is not a transition element. So you should understand that all the transition elements belong to d block elements, but all the d block elements are not transition element. Here copper is a d block element as well as a transition element also. Scandium is a d block element but not transition element. Similarly, zinc is a d block element but not transition element. There are some special properties of transition elements. They form colored compounds, they show variable valency, and they are used as catalyst. It is to be mentioned that in your textbook the term has been made very simplified with some wrong concept. The textbook tells you that the elements from group 3 to 12, that is all the d block elements are transition elements, which is a wrong concept. So I have given the correct or right concept in this slide. So have a serious study on this matter from the slide. Next we shall go to the F block elements. If the last electron of an element enters into F orbital, then it is called the F block element, and there are two periods which contain F block elements, 6 periods and 7 periods. Let us take the example of promethium, atomic number 61. The electronic configuration is showing that the last electron is going to the F orbital, so it's an F block element. Here is F block element. In F block elements there are 14 elements in each period. That is, in 6 period there are 14 F block elements. The 7th period also should contain 14 F block elements, and all the F block elements belong to group 3 of the periodic table. In the periodic table, all these elements are placed in group 3. We have no details study about the F block elements in school level. We will study F block elements in details in higher levels. Now let us make us clear what are lanthanides. Practically the properties of the F block elements of the 6th period, starting from cerium 58 to lutetium 71, are similar to that of lanthanum. For this reason, these elements are known as lanthanides, and the series of these elements is known as lanthanides. Let's have a view again. This is the 14 elements starting from cerium to lutetium. These 14 elements show similar properties to that of lanthanum. For this reason, these elements are known as lanthanide series. These elements are known as lanthanides, and the series of these 15 elements are known as lanthanide series. Similarly, actinide series, the properties of the F block elements of the 7th period, starting from thorium 90 to lawrencium 103, are similar to that of actinide. For this reason, these elements are known as actinides, and the series of these elements is known as actinide series. Let us have a look again. These elements, 14 elements starting from thorium to lawrencium, these 14 elements show similar property like actinium. For this reason, these elements are known as actinides, and the series of these 15 elements are known as actinide series. It is mentionable that lanthanide series belong to group, lanthanide series belongs to 6th period and actinide series belong to the 7th period of the periodic table. This is the last discussion today. Now I have given you some homework. Please write the answer of these questions in your classwork or homework copy and submit this homework when the school open. I have given some MCQ question also. You have to solve this 4 MCQ question. In the next video lecture we shall study some more important points, but if you don't have a very serious study on these 2 lectures I have given, you will not be able to understand that lecture. So be very serious in studies and stay well. Thank you very much. Take care.